Hi, my name is Kelsey Lawrence, and I am Family Practicum 445, and this is my first learning and teaching interaction. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Family life education, as defined in our textbook, is any educational activity occurring outside a traditional classroom setting, usually involving adults, that is designed to strengthen relationships in the home and foster individual, couple, and family development. I think the most important phrase in that is that these programs are designed to strengthen relationships in the home and foster positive individual, couple, and family development. That really should be our goal when we're family life educators. We're going to kind of talk about our principles and things like that throughout this video, and I just want you to keep that in mind. So there are quite a few approaches to teaching family life education. There's one called the expert approach. This is where the teacher basically lectures and is the expert, transferring knowledge onto the student who is not the expert. There's also the facilitator approach, where the individual has an influence on their learning. This reminds me a lot of the BYU Idaho model, learning model, which is prepare, teach one another, and ponder. Not only are we learning from our teacher in class, the BYU Idaho learning model, but we're learning from each other as well. I think it's just a beneficial experience for both teachers and students, because we really are learning from each other. There's the critical inquirer approach. This is using questions to help participants gain knowledge and understanding. This encourages the learner to really know the material and to think critically about it, to where they would ask questions. They'd also have to answer questions as well, and apply what they've learned. There's also the interventionist approach, which teachers are considered the change agents, inspiring the students to change. I think this will be very helpful in an addiction recovery program setting or a family therapy setting. Not really so much for family life education, because we're really focusing on prevention, as we'll talk about in a moment. But it is an approach that people can use. Finally is the eclectic approach. This is where we take all of those approaches and we use them as needed. This is the most helpful in my opinion. This is also the most difficult, because not only do we have to really know the material as family life educators, but we need to know our students. We need to know what they respond to better, what is more appropriate for certain topics. For example, a topic on sexuality, would it be better to have a discussion on it, or would it be more effective to have a video or a lecture? It just kind of depends on your audience, and it depends on the material as well. So family life educators need to have their own philosophy. They need to have a belief of what the family really is. And we need to think critically about our own beliefs of what the family is. Does what we believe about the family better help us to help others? Do we view all children of God, or only those who fit into our personal view of what a family should be? As family life educators, we may be put in situations where we are teaching a marriage seminar and a homosexual couple comes in, or a cohabiting couple comes in. Do we treat them the same way we would treat other couples who are married, or a heterosexual couple? It's important that we understand that all people can benefit from learning how to make families work better, and that we shouldn't treat them differently or belittle them or anything like that. We need to be appropriate and professional when it comes to that. So let's kind of talk a little bit more about professionalism. This is an issue with family life education, because a lot of the public thinks that what we do is, not very important. So people ask, do you really need a degree for that? But it is important. There is research being done on families, and we as family life educators are taking that research to the masses, because we are learning. We're learning from universities and that science, and we can help teach others. So there are a few things that the field is doing to kind of create professionalism within our field. One of the big things that they're doing is certifying family life educators. By attending a certified program, or by working, taking the necessary classes, working for 2 years, and then doing the exam, you can become a certified family life educator. This makes you a lot more marketable. This also makes you a lot more professional. People view you, oh, she's got a certificate. She knows what she's talking about. Networking also provides professionalism. When we work with other professionals, we enhance our own credibility. For example, if we are partnering with therapists, doctors, scholars, and other professionals, we are showing our audience and others that we don't have all the answers, but that when we work together, and we do work together with people of other fields, that we can come up with answers together. It's very important. So I'm just going to continue on to some principles of family life education that are important to have. So for example, the principle of empathy. I think this is the most important principle that we need to apply as family life educators. Stephen Covey said, when you show deep empathy towards others, their defensive energy goes down and positive energy replaces it. That's when you get more creative in solving problems. This is directly related to our experience as family life educators, because we're helping people solve problems within their families. We're helping prevent problems. And the best way we can do that is if we have our knowledge and our understanding, and then we meet it with their knowledge and understanding, and we create that synergy together. It's a very respectful way of noticing and understanding people's experiences and what they have learned, and how that makes their family different and unique. And then we, knowing what we know about families, can then help to meet those needs. It's a very beautiful thing when it's all said and done. And empathy really helps us as educators to help others. Finally, the principle of agency. Elder Robert D. Hales has said that agency used righteously allows light to dispel darkness and enables us to live with joy and happiness. Remembering that each of us has the gift of agency, and that we can't force others to behave and think the way we do. And when we have students who use their agency and act on what we are teaching, it can be a wonderful thing. It brings happiness into their family life. It brings happiness to them. But there are those who we may teach and try to inspire and do everything we can, but they still, it doesn't have an effect on them. They don't agree with what we have to say, or they just don't find it helpful. And we have to kind of let go and just be like, okay, I understand that's how you feel, and you have the right to think and feel how you want. And we can't force others, even though we really want to. We just really have to respect that they're children of God. I think that's the most important thing with this learning outline that I've realized, and what family life educators do. We do teach. We also need to understand that we are all individuals who have, our agency, and that we're all individuals that need to be respected, especially when it comes to using our agency. So that's what I think. So thanks for watching.